Welcome to the Novotel Luxembourg Centre. Now let's check in. We all like to get away now and again, and what better way than to spend a few nights at a hotel? We're here this week as we check into 3 hotels so we can check them out for you. We have a confession to make. We actually checked in 2 days ago, and it's because when we arrived it was very late at night, and then the next day we had so much going on that we weren't able to film this. But actually, you'll find out as we go along that it's actually been quite worthwhile that we've done it this way this time. So let's start off by giving you a tour of the room. So as soon as you come in through the door, there's a little door here, and it is the toilet.
So it's not connected to the other bits of the bathroom.
Yes, and there's no hand basin or anything in there. So it is literally the toilet and
On its own.
nothing else, just on its own. So you come along here and we have 2 little doors which open up into the bathroom proper.
So this is the water closet?
Well, the water closet, that's a name for a toilet, I think. WC.
So this is the water closet without the toilet element.
Well, it's the bathroom, I suppose. You can see all our bits and pieces, but they provided us with Rituals hand wash.
Which is quite premium.
Yeah, and also Rituals shampoo and shower gel. There is a rain shower and also a hand shower. The towels, the bath towels are here, and the hand towels are down here, and there is also a mat to stand on when you come out of the shower. And for Paul, hidden in there is a hairdryer. Right, lots of cupboards here.
This is how much stuff we have.
Or wardrobes, I suppose. Yeah. So there are extra pillows up here. We'll come to those later. We have 6 coat hangers. There is an ironing board and an iron. That's all our stuff. And plenty of storage space. And there is a mirror just over here.
Oh,
Yes.
The
There's
luggage area.
also a luggage area where you can set stuff when you come in. And also, underneath, there is room to put your suitcases as we have done.
so we have 2 down here.
Yeah, so that's a good space saver. Right, in here we have a little mini fridge, and they supply 1 bottle of Vitol still water every day. The rest of the stuff is ours. And there is a little shop downstairs at reception where you can buy other bits and pieces.
Beers and also like chocolate and things like that.
Yeah, and the hospitality tray comes with your usual coffee selection, regular coffee, decaf. We've got an English breakfast. I think that is Earl Grey. We've got Morocco mint and a chamomile tea. And then we've got these little creamers. Now, I actually bought a similar type, but more of a milk base rather than cream, because these ones aren't that good with tea. And then there are sugars here. Oh, yes, this is very important. Yes.
Hotel. If you don't want any service, you hang this up, and allegedly you will receive more all ACAR points.
100 bonus
if you
points.
Don't have their service for that day.
Yeah, so it's a bit counterintuitive, because I actually thought when they told us that, I thought, oh, they've told me the wrong way around. But no, it's right. You hang the card out if you don't want service, but you have to hang it out, I think, before 8 p.m. the night before.
Okay.
I think it says that on the card.
Yeah.
Otherwise, then you will get service. And we've noticed that they are coming to service our room quite early.
And she's like knocking on the door.
Yeah, I was actually in the toilet. I'd just come back from having breakfast, and it was about 9 o'clock, maybe 9:15. And the lady was knocking at the door already. Now, we're on the 6th floor, which is the highest floor. We had requested the highest floor, so we're very happy that we got that. So there's nobody above us. Okay, let's take a look down here, because we've got the safe, which of course is very important, and it works. There's no problem It's locked at the minute. We've got all our stuff in there. We're not going to show you the TV coming on. It's just a regular TV, but there is BBC.
TV, right?
Well, it says it's a smart TV. It's not. It's not got YouTube, so it's not that smart. And it does have a whole mixture of channels from across Europe, including BBC One South and BBC Two. I think ITV is there, Channel 4 and 5 as well. Let's take a look at the view next. There isn't really much of a view, but at least we do get to see
have
something.
access.
Yeah. So
To this really old kind of building across from us. I think I do like the architecture and with all the intricate details of the roofing and things like that.
but certainly this building right in front of us down here is nothing to write home about.
derelict, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I don't know what's going on.
construction.
It's certainly not been used for some time. So there isn't really much to see, but at least we can see the sky, which is good. So there is a sofa area to sit on, and it's also doubles up as a sofa bed. And not that we've got anyone else staying here. Oh no, we have got the extra duvet out for ourselves because there is quite a
cold.
thinnish duvet on the bed, and it was feeling a bit cold because, of course, we actually do like to have the room quite cold anyway. So then we have to warm up. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but that's just the way it is. We're very temperature conscious, I suppose, is what you could say. But over here, in just behind the bed, there is a fabulous picture, and I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to try to look it up. Maybe you could let us know in the comments if you know what this is. We've counted up the number of plug sockets, and there are 7. There's 2 here. There's 1 in the bathroom. There are 2 over here underneath the TV, and 1 at either side of the bed. There's also 2 little reading lights over there. And there's also some USBs. There's 3 over at that side. And
There's like a couple here.
there's a couple over here as well, which is good. And I'm not sure what that's for.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really know what that is.
Yeah.
It might be USB. I don't know.
And we've got a couple of lamps. It took a while to work out how to turn them on, but with this one, it's well, Paul's just done that over there, and that one is a button, just like that. So there is plenty of light. There is also an air charge for phones. So as well as the little settee, there is a table, which is good. And if I'm editing, I can sit on this chair here and work at the desk. The AC, I'm not really sure how it's being regulated because look, we've put it down to 17, but it's never reached that. And it seems to be,
maybe central.
I think it's centralized at 21.5 Celsius.
If you forget to bring anything from home, the Novotel has this QR code which you could scan, and then you could choose to have them provide you with certain items. So we ordered a bento kit, and I also ordered a shower cap. I forgot that at home as well. And we also ordered a sewing kit. There were other things on the list, including shampoo. There was also pillows, duvets. There was also...
Don't forget the toilet brush, Paul.
Oh, right, the toilet brush. This is for those of you that don't want any cleaning service and want to do it yourself, so that you could get some more A-card points. So I'm all with that idea.
Now, we always say when we're at a hotel, the most important thing is how is the bed, how is the sleep,
And the pillows.
and the pillows. Well, okay, this is where we have a major problem, I'm afraid, Novotel. I've hardly slept the past 2 nights at all because the pillows are incredibly uncomfortable. They
Hold it up.
they come with well, there's 2 of this size here, which is you can sort of folded over partly.
And it's bigger than the other one.
Yeah, it's bigger than the other one. And the height of one on its own is too low. The height of both of them together is too high. And I don't think they've got another pillow menu. There are actually 2 extra pillows which we showed you at the start, and they're this size. So I've used every combination of one of each, no good. Both of these, no good, and like 2 of these and two of these. I've tried every combination and I just cannot get comfortable at all. The bed itself is okay, but this has been a real problem. I think I had about 3 hours sleep the last 2 nights, 3 hours per night. So I'm afraid that when it comes to the actual sleep quality here, I've got to give the Novotel a 0 out of 10. Although what I would say is that there's been no noise from any other room so far, so that's been good at least. We've just seen a big party of people check in, but they're quite elderly, so I'm hoping that they're not going to be holding raves or anything. And there's already been people in the room on the other side, and we haven't heard a peep the whole time. I don't want to jinx it, but so far so good. And when we did research this hotel, I always check about noise and sounds, all that sort of stuff, and it said that the rooms were well soundproofed, and so they seem to be. When we checked in, it was late at night. It was after 10, a bit later than what we were hoping to get here. Yeah, our flight was delayed. So anyway, we knew that the restaurant was open till 11, and they did accommodate us. So we will show you what we had to eat, and it was very good. It was very filling. I couldn't finish it. I don't think Paul could finish his either. But we did need to eat something because we hadn't eaten since we were at the lounge at Heathrow, which was about 5 hours earlier. And then we've had breakfast 2 mornings already. We filmed it this morning, which is the second morning. I have to say I'm not really happy with the breakfast. The coffee's okay, the bacon's all right, but I found that there's 2 types of sausages. I didn't really like them. The food's quite cold. That's the hot food. It's quite cold. There are cold cuts as well, which are okay. I think, Paul, you probably enjoyed the breakfast more than me.
I had some of the cheese today. I had some of the cut ham and meat. So there was like ham, there was turkey, there was
salmon as well. Right?
Yeah, there was salmon, there was like the gherkin, there was like the fishy type stuff, and then they also had like salady type stuff for those of you that are vegetarians or vegans and can't have meat. And so then they did accommodate for them, and then there was like fruit area as well, and then there was also like a bakery section.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there wasn't a good enough selection of stuff for different tastes. Yes, there was, but just when it came to the hot food,
yeah, it was a bit weird.
Yeah, it was a bit of a letdown. The hash browns tasted a bit like
warm,
cardboard.
Not cold.
Yeah, and it was cold. Everything seemed to be not lukewarm.
Like it wasn't like it wasn't steaming hot.
Yeah, so they're in. Well, you'll see it anyway because we filmed it. But they're in those sort of containers where you lift the thing up, and then I think they're heated a little bit either from below, and there's
buffet type stuff.
Yeah, the buffet type stuff. So I think it just needs a little bit of extra care to ensure that the food is actually warm enough. And I mean, this has been quite an expensive hotel to stay at. It's not been cheap. It's been around between €250 average, I think, per night. So when you're paying that much for a hotel, which included the breakfast, we paid for the breakfast as well. You know, you would expect it to be a bit better than what it has been, I have to say. But you'll see those coming up next. And Paul is also going to be trying out the gym. I won't. I had a look in there, and that's as far as I'm going to go with it. But Paul's going to give it a go, I think.
here is the bench. Here's another bench to do weights over here. Here is an elliptical machine. Here is a regular bike. Here is a medicine ball. Here's a TV, and here are instructions on how to stretch. Here's how to work on your upper body, trunk, lower body. And then here is the running machine. And over here are some towels, which I could use if I get sweaty, and drinking water, I suppose. So, yeah, I brought my own bottle, but yeah, you never know when I might need it. So yeah. Don't get caught spying on someone's YouTube channel. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Paul and Marcus.
Our 5 days at the Novotel here in Luxembourg have come to an end. And I'm afraid from my point of view, things have not really improved. I did sleep slightly better on the third night and on the fifth and final night, but I think that is just because I was so exhausted, because I'd hardly got any sleep at all on the other nights, because I'm afraid the pillows are just so uncomfortable. I think management really need to have some of their staff stay here for a few nights in different rooms and test them out and to get some feedback from them. Because there's a real design fault with these pillows, I believe. Now, I think you probably slept better than me, Paul, because you're a good sleeper anyway.
I don't know. I think the most I slept was like 6 hours straight, and I don't normally sleep that much, but I think I was just overly tired. I wasn't a fan of the pillows either. I think that the harder one and like the bigger one and the smaller one, no, it was just geometrically off, and I think it like kind of hurt my back somewhat.
And even if you put the two smaller ones together, they're so small that they sort of just roll around. So there's a real problem there, and it's not the only design faults that we've discovered here. In our room in the bathroom, underneath the sink is where the hand towels are placed, and they kept falling off because there wasn't, you put them on, but then they tend to just sort of fall off again.
So I think that
if you brush past them,
So I think that they needed like something at the end of it to hold them in place, like a bit that goes sticking up,
or else have a sort of a hoopy type thing,
like a circle.
Now, there was a vanity mirror, so that was okay. That was good for shaving. And we also discovered 2 extra plug sockets. One in the bathroom next to where the hairdryer was kept, and a real hidden one at the door underneath the area where you would set your suitcase. Now, you'd have to actually be down on your hands and knees looking for one of those. And I was actually down on my hands and knees because I was thinking, are there any others in the room? So that is why we discovered that one. So in total, that was a total of, I think, there were 2 near the TV, 2 near the kettle, 1 on either side of the bed, and then those 2. So that was 8 in total. Now, I have to say about the shower, there's a design fault there as well. So you've got the rain shower and you've also got the hose. Now the thing is, when you turn the water on, first of all, it comes out through the hose, which is fine. But if you want the rain shower, you have to pull the little lever out, and the water runs cold at that point for a few seconds, so you're standing underneath it. So even though the water will be running warm through the pipe, through the little hose, it's not. It's obviously coming from a different source above.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so, and the other thing I discovered on 2 mornings is that the water, even when it was up at the highest temperature, was not that warm compared with the other 3 mornings and also every evening. So there's something slightly wrong with the water. We're on the 6th floor, so maybe it's something to do with the pressure. Also, the toilet seemed to run on a macerator when you flushed it. And that is the sort of system that you get when there isn't enough pressure and you're on a higher floor. I had that at a flat one time in London. Now on to the food. On the first night, I had an omelette, which was very nice, and you had
This chicken Caesar.
Yeah, and I think it was okay. You said.
It was really big, and I think that I shouldn't have eaten so much, and then I couldn't sleep for ages, but I think it's because of the food. I'm not saying that it was bad. It was good, and we needed to eat upon arriving late at night.
But we did eat at the restaurant another evening as well. We both ordered the burger. Now, I don't know if it was lost in translation, but I'm going to put the receipt and also the translation of the name of the dish on the screen. It was pulled beef, and it was basically a hot mess, and there was a sort of cheese on it with a rind, and it kind of turned my stomach. I was hungry, so I had to eat. I ate the top bit of the bread, which was okay, and then I ate a little bit of the cheese, and it made me feel sick. And then after that, everything that I ate was starting to turn my stomach. So I did eat most of the beef. It was kind of okay.
It was cooked.
It was cooked and everything. But then when you got to the bottom bit and the bread, everything was soggy and all the veg, and it was really disgusting, to be quite honest. And for what you're paying at a hotel, that really wasn't worth it. So I'm afraid that as far as the menu is concerned, they may need to sort of have a look and see why are we serving stuff like this. And for me, the breakfast was not good at all. I've already said that I found that the hot food was kind of lukewarm, and the only thing that I could eat properly was the bacon, which was adequate. The scrambled egg was a bit creamy and mushy. I needed to eat something, so I did eat that, but I'm not sure if it actually made me feel ill. And I did have toast on a couple of days, but I didn't even like that. I got a couple of slices of cooked ham, and that was basically the only thing. And we had marble cake, which, had to have something. But you had the fruit and the salmon, so I think you would probably score it a bit higher than I did.
So I did like the continental breakfast type stuff, like the cheese and the ham and the prosciutto and the salmon. I also like the watermelon and the other bits in the fruit salad. I also did like, was it Perrier, or was it Italian brand?
No, I think it was Perrier.
Yeah, I did like the bottled water, sparkles. I wasn't a fan of the cooked breakfast. I think that the scrambled eggs were a little mushy and also kind of salty. I think that those mini sausages were...
No, they weren't nice at all. And then the bigger sausages, you said you thought they were chicken or something.
Chicken or turkey. So I think that was like the non-pork version. I didn't really like the hash browns either. It tasted kind of cardboardy and it tasted kind of dry. The bacon was okay, but I'm trying to cut down, which is why I didn't really have too much of that. But overall, I think that most of the cooked stuff I didn't like. I did have a croissant, and I had the marble cake. I had that fruited loaf, which tasted disgusting.
Oh, did it?
I had to get the candy out of the loaf. Well, I think maybe they are trying to market to kids or something. I'm not sure.
Well, it's kind of branded as a business hotel, but also welcoming families as well, so I'm not really sure. On the plus point, we have to say that the staff were all very professional and all very friendly, especially the lady that checked us in.
Oh my gosh.
And she really loved our name, so we can't fault the staff in any way. But I'm afraid there are design faults with this hotel. At least the room was quiet, apart from the fact that our room was next to, on one side, the cleaner's cupboard, and they were coming in quite early in the morning, before 8 o'clock. I think.
Like, I heard like movement in there. Like, it sounded like there was like furniture being moved or something.
Well, I think it was the trolleys. Probably the trolleys with the tiles and all the other bits and pieces.
No, but
were
it
making up the
sounded
rooms.
like they were moving something huge.
Well, maybe there's units in there where they store the tiles or something. But yeah, that was the only thing that we did hear. We didn't hear any of the people from any of the other rooms.
No, we did not.
Well, I'm glad that we're only staying here for 5 nights. Well, it's been long enough, to be quite honest. We're actually staying in Luxembourg for another 4 nights, and we are moving to another hotel, which you will see in our next episode. So we'll see you then. Bye.